I like the way that fades out.
Yeah,
We've
never actually let it fade all the way out before.
Yeah. Usually we just sort of stop it. So I like that. That's really cool.
Yes, I think that went really well.
Yeah.
It went a lot better than my countdown timer, where starting now went off the entire screen.
Ah, that's cool.
How do we look on there? Do we look good?
We're squished.
We're squished?
I told you.
How can I unsquish us? My headphones look weird.
Is it possible when you insert the video, is it possible to lock the aspect ratio? Because that's your problem, is that the aspect ratio isn't locked.
Let me see. Let me see if I can. I can.
Try that. What is transform?
That's how you edit how big it is and stuff.
Yeah. Go to reset. If you reset it, it should put it to the same.
So if I reset it,
size.
now we're big. We're big again.
But what you'll want to do is...
I love this. Welcome to Divine Disbelief, where we learn things about how to use OBS.
Yay!
Here I am. Let me
just
do this. I'm just going to move this.
But see if it'll allow you to lock the aspect ratio.
I'm...
Like with the...
Things we should...
There you go. Edit transform?
Yeah, that's what I just did. Yeah, it's... I could fit to screen. Boom!
I mean, that's just entirely us.
Now it's us! Look how big we are.
I don't think I've ever seen us this big.
See things in the background.
Yeah, you can... Well, just sort of... Some of the stuff is shiny.
See a tiny little Mjolnir. Oh, that's right. I forgot. I was actually going to practice and see if I could write Divine Disbelief backward while she was talking about something tonight.
Oh, yeah.
It looks tilted. I know that thing's not
but
actually...
But it's forward. It's only backwards when
we're
on
my Everyday
Zoom.
Atheism shirt is backward.
No.
I can't read. But it looks backward here.
No, it doesn't.
It's backward to me. I don't know. I'm not good at this. Mirrors are bad.
It's cool. So yeah, welcome to Divine Disbelief. This is Wednesday.
I'm still gonna mess this up while we're doing this, just so you know.
Okay.
I'm just gonna make it smaller and stuff because there's stuff that needs to be on the screen.
Okay.
Yes. Welcome to Divine Disbelief, episode 9.
Episode number 9.
Yeah.
We're almost at double digits.
The weather tried to stop us today.
It really did.
Yeah. Fuck you, weather.
So he called me. Like, he never actually calls me because we are both of the age where we don't actually make phone calls. We just text each other.
Calling is stupid.
I mean, I agree. But he actually calls me and I'm sitting there in the break room at work, like on my lunch break, and I'm just like, oh, what's going on? And I answer the phone and he's like, you hear that? And it's like the tornado sirens and I'm like,
it's in the background.
Oh dear. Yeah. So I was like, the leashes are in the green hamper because they got peed on. The cat carrier is in the bathroom in the closet.
Yeah.
Trying to tell you where all
the leashes did
was.
get peed on, by the way. One of the dogs peed on the leashes.
Yeah. Oh, dogs.
And if you don't know, if you haven't been listening to our podcasts, first off, what's wrong with you? Secondly, we live in DFW, and apparently we have to sound that out for people. I just knocked her on the shoulder.
Yeah.
It is Dallas Fort Worth. We live directly, like, smack in the middle.
Right.
We are almost, I don't know if you could like be more geographically center.
We are equidistant from downtown Fort Worth to downtown Dallas. I use them $10 words.
They are, and so if there's ever a tornado warning in DFW, automatically we have to wonder if we're included.
Yeah,
because like across the road almost is basically Dallas County. And it's like and then where we're at in Tarrant County, it's like, so there was a tornado warning in Tarrant County earlier today.
So it included our home.
Yes, and we're far enough east that it did not affect us. No, it could certainly see it, not the tornado, but could see because trees or whatever.
Where the weather was.
Stupid trees in the way of me looking at destruction.
Mother Nature.
But there was a tornado warning, and everything was going off. Like all the sirens. The funniest thing, all right, now there is the joke about people in Texas, right? You go outside when and so yes, of course I did that. It's not just people in Texas.
He did, and he posted videos on Twitter.
Yeah, there were still airplanes taking off from DFW. That was my favorite part of this. There was one I didn't catch, by the way, was a Spirit Airlines.
Oh dear.
There was actually There was actually a Spirit Airlines. And also, I think Blue Collar Heathen, who's going to be on our show next Sunday, so not this week, he is up in the area where there were other tornadoes today, where it's not quite as common.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
I'm not going to say where because I don't have permission to do that. But the sirens are going off, and I go outside. Because I'm going to, first off, I'm looking to the northwest. If there's a tornado coming, it's not coming from the northwest. It's coming from back that way. It's coming from the southwest, usually, is where I'm going to see it at.
That's the direction
it's going to be going northeast. That's how tornadoes work, folks. That's what's called meteorology. And it's like,
I am familiar with such a science.
no, well, yeah, but maybe folks in some areas of the country or the world that don't get tornadoes.
Yeah.
Basically Europe.
I mean, yeah.
I don't know if Australia does or not, but I'm going to guess that Australia has enough going for it that probably as well tornadoes also exist just because.
Yeah, because everything in Australia is already trying to kill you, so why not just add
why not
tornadoes
the
to that?
weather too?
Yeah.
And I go out there, and there are a couple of other people. I will neglect to say whether or not they were like white people that were also out there with me looking at the weather and trying to figure it out. But there were people that were across the parking lot that were acting like nothing was going on. Like there was not a tornado.
They were just less concerned than you were.
They didn't care. Like they got their kids and sitting in the car and walking around and stuff. I was like,
so they were genuinely just less concerned than you were by a great degree. So they were less concerned.
It's like they didn't even realize the tornado siren or what it was.
Oh. I can't speak for them.
But so yeah, they and then they just like got up and like they drove out slowly and everything, and I was like, I've never seen that before. But there was a tornado on the ground northwest of us earlier today, and then there was one up in Denton earlier today, and one of them was a rain-wrapped tornado, which are the most dangerous, not necessarily because of the damage they do, but because you can't see them when it's just raining.
Get concealed.
Yeah,
they get concealed really easily.
There's a video of a guy. He's on 35, and I think I had tweeted at him or something, but he's recording it in his car while he's driving, which thing's not to do, folks.
Yeah, don't
just
do that.
Don't.
Please don't do
But
that.
he said, "Did I just record a tornado?" And I said, "Yes, in
Yes,
the
you
rain."
did.
And you could have died, dummy.
Good job.
But good footage or whatever.
Yeah, makes for a good story.
Yeah, and then so really, we didn't know if we were going to be able to go live at all today.
Right.
Because there was supposed to be another band of rain, and severe weather that came through, and it was incredibly, at least for the time being this afternoon. It was probably around 2:00.
Yeah.
It was still 84 degrees, and the humidity was
awful.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then it just rained, and there were like 2 or 3 claps of thunder, and that was it.
Yeah, it moved into Dallas and
Dallas got tornado
moved
warnings.
Through. Yeah,
You
it
guys
wasn't
got some.
raining that bad whenever I had left work.
Yeah, most of it came north and northeast of us, which is
a very fascinating conversation.
Well, it's important because one of the tweets that I retweeted today. Actually, I'm gonna see. I put my mouse down, working on getting something. By the way, we actually ordered an extra camera so we could have this multiple cameras and stuff, so we can look like we're profesh, and also so that we're not like way across the, doing this on the screen and everything, making it easier.
The lower resolution I'm in, the better, honestly.
That's not true.
It is true. It's very true.
But something that I retweeted today, and I added my own comment because that's what I do. And if you want to see some of the snarky ass comments that I add to randos' Twitter accounts, you can follow me at Atheist Husker.
He does.
What did I do?
I don't know what you did.
Somebody sent me a message.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Is it the person who tweeted snarky things too?
No. Oh, no, it's from Upsy the Skeptical Bubble.
Skeptical Bubble, yeah.
Sent a virtual hug.
Aww.
Oh. And we just got a follow from, like, right now from Blue Collar Heathen.
Yay.
At least I don't know if that was me or... Oh, no, it had to be. Never mind. We're already following each other on the other account.
I'm very shiny.
But wait, let's see. I'm going to see what I... Oh, yes. This is from Meg118 is the name of the... I'm not going to give the @ says, OMFG, I heard because I was watching Channel 8 the entire time, OMG. The tornado warning is south of me in Louisville, which is central North Dallas. Now, thank God, but also not because I have family there. And so...
This is the beginning of something beautiful, because if she's realizing that God is the cause of her safety, but God is also going to put that tornado directly in the line of fire of your family, then you're going to realize that your God sucks. And he's an asshole.
And so I retweeted it, and I added additional, and I said, so thank you, God, and also screw you, God.
Yeah, I did see that, yeah.
Yes. So that was something that I did earlier today. And there's some stuff, like I got on Cat caught it. These are both like you can see. It actually looks like a tornado on there.
Yeah.
It's not. It's me looking at the sky and the clouds are just ominous and there's fucking airplanes flying through there. American Airlines flies up. I'm like, well, you're about to enjoy your turbulence.
I just can't with that.
I don't understand. DFW was like, no, we have got to get this shit going today. We've got $5-some-odd billion. How much was it we were talking about that? You remember that?
I remember. I just don't remember how much it was.
They could fill in every pothole in freaking DFW. And that's
Good.
a lot, by the way.
That is a lot of potholes.
But
Will always pale in comparison to my hometown of Corpus Christi.
I think we got a we did.
Did Gaelic? Oh,
yes.
Yay!
Gaelic Knox just sent us our updated avatar.
I am so excited. I love that so much.
It is, and added your glasses.
Yay! Oh, my glasses were
or
on
you
there
had
anyway.
glasses before.
Yeah, my glasses were on there anyway.
Something, I thought there was something with it that you...
No, I love it.
Oh, okay. I thought it was...
She added your... Or they... I'm sorry, I just made the assumption. They added your beard.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had added your beard on the previous one.
Yeah.
Because before you had, like, just trimmed it down, so you couldn't see much of it.
Yeah.
And it's so blonde.
It's there, though.
Yeah.
And white.
In some places.
Let's get some white right here.
All right.
But
let's talk about some news, shall we?
Yes, I'm gonna sneeze. Well,
do you want to wait?
I'm gonna do my best.
You sneeze?
I'm gonna do my best to not sneeze in the microphone.
Can you stifle your sneezes?
Is that possible?
Yeah, just like sneeze like that.
No, I'll get. Oh my god, my head will fall apart.
I don't think
my allergies are killing me right now, anyways.
Scientifically possible for your head to fall apart from holding in a sneeze. Your ears might pop.
I'll have a worse headache than I currently do.
Oh,
sinuses, man. My allergies are just, they're murdering me right now.
Anyway.
I took medicine.
Good. So,
Gaelic Knox.
Whenever we say that there's something happening in a church in Texas, a good majority of the time, it's here in DFW. And of course...
That's true.
Yeah. So, of course, tonight we have a story about Concord Church here in Dallas. And they are making an offer to unmarried congregants who are living together. And that offer is get married through the church and we'll pay for your wedding. Now, it comes, of course, with some stipulations. They have to go through premarital counseling. Yeah. They have to, they'll cover dresses, tuxes, rings, cake, and even a month's rent after the wedding. Which is like, that's cool, but at the same time...
They cover the rings. I didn't see that.
I mean, I imagine just the wedding rings, not like the engagement ring too.
Dumb.
Meh.
Look, I got to get engaged first, pastor.
Yeah, no, thank you.
No. Anyways, go ahead.
So there's about 60 couples that have gone through this process, which amazes me. Yeah. Like, wow. It's about $8,000 per wedding. So, like I said, you have to go through the church's premarital counseling program. And it's what really gets me, and I say that about all of these. What really gets me is there's no research that supports, hey, don't live together before you're married. Like, any of the research actually supports if you live together before you get married, or if you just live together and don't get married, then you end up happier.
Yeah, there's nothing that actually says that's the case.
Yeah, like, you're not, it's rushing into marriage just because you want to impress your pastor doesn't make any sense.
Are they also, well, see, now this is something that I was actually that we were actually going to get into later on, that I didn't put a link in there, but we talked about the decline in church attendance.
Yeah.
One of those has to do with the Southern Baptist Church, which has seen a decline almost as large as United Methodist.
Oh, wow.
Less than 5% of Americans are Southern Baptist now.
Yeah.
And what they're seeing is that a lot of that is because young people aren't having children, they're not able, and the children that grow up in the church, they're not staying.
Right.
They can't. They're not keeping their numbers.
They're not brainwashing future generations.
Well, what happens is people aren't. Usually, what they depend on is young people to get married and have kids.
Right.
Because it's true that younger people, 18 to 24, tend to stray away from the church. And then they get married, have children, they come back. It's a thing that happens. And so this is part of that, to where it's like they understand that they're losing church membership, and they're saying we need to get people back into the church, and it's part of that. But it's also, I think, important to ask the pastor this. I liked a few of the things that Hemet Mehta from the Friendly Atheist asked.
Oh yeah, he did ask some really, really, really
but
great things.
I do like Hemet a lot. I would like to interview him at some point. But
oh yes.
I'd like to ask this. The church has a divorce rate that is higher than that of secular people, right? So if there's 70 couples and we get about 50%, because that's pretty close to what it is, are they going to pay for the 35 divorces too?
I doubt that.
Well, then...
Or are they going to make the couples pay back the money that the church gave them?
Yeah.
And also...
There's a lot to question on this.
Okay, so obviously this money is coming out of the church's budget because unless in some miraculous way it's coming out of the pastor's personal budget, which I highly doubt.
Yeah, there's no way that's the case at all.
So are they counting these purchases as church expenditures and thus not paying taxes on them? Because the money is being spent by the church.
Oh yeah.
So they're
not paying anything. Yeah.
Are they taking advantage of that?
No,
I genuinely wonder that, and I want to know that.
Advantage. Come on.
I want to know that. I genuinely do. Yeah, some of the other questions that Himamete came up with, which I really, really liked. Does this only apply to straight couples? Which, I mean, of course it does. Do the couples have to sign a faith statement? Which I've never known. I mean, so the church that you went to, whenever you were youth pastor, did they do premarital couples counseling for people who wanted to get married by that church's pastor? Like mandatory stuff?
No.
No?
No, but it was a small enough church. I don't think that was necessary. I don't think that was ever the case.
Okay.
But usually it's
a lot of times it is.
Well, if it's like, and that's the thing though, with like Baptist churches and stuff that I would go to in Southeast Texas, that was never anything somebody had to go through.
Right.
Catholics do.
Oh yeah, Catholics. Of course, Catholics.
You have to be a Catholic.
You do. You have to be a confirmed Catholic, baptized Catholic, like on their rolls, in order to get married in the church. And so often you see people who have left the church that are like, my parents want me to have a church wedding, and this is the only way that they'll contribute to it. And they hold it over this couple's heads. And it's disgusting. It's gross.
No, it is.
It's gross.
I agree completely.
Yeah.
And Banana Jr. asks, what are we currently talking about? We're chatting about this Concord Church here in Dallas is basically paying for people to get married, which is to also and Blue Collar Heathen makes a good point in the chat as well. Is it? I think he says it would be more to have sex guilt free. Sure.
Yeah.
I could certainly see that. But if they're going to the church anyway, this is also, and the church is absolutely, I think one could say,
Awful.
well, this particular, I can't speak for this particular church.
Oh yeah, that I don't know.
But I see your face. I don't know what you were looking at, but I saw your face.
Oh, what face did I make?
Oh. I don't know if you were reading like the part where he asks.
Oh
Chick-fil-A.
yeah, no, yeah. It's a little bit later on.
Sure, but they're already having sex, so I guess that would make sense. With the guilt-free thing, then it's like, oh, now we can actually, and I think it comes back around, yes, to expectation of children as well, which is going to ensure the at least limited future success of the congregation.
Yeah.
And
yeah, so I don't know how I missed this part. There's a video with a sermon that Hemameta posted that apparently I don't know how I missed this. All of the weddings happen as the same event. They don't even get individual weddings.
No.
That's so crappy.
Ambulance.
Yeah. You would think that if you're willing to go through this stuff, if you're just I think it is a matter of we just want to, have guilt-free sex, or we just want to get married on the cheap or whatever.
On the cheap.
But I mean, if you really place that much value on your wedding and on your faith and stuff, and this is a little gatekeepy, and I'm sorry, then why are you gonna be like, hey, I'm gonna be okay with this mass wedding? Like,
yeah, I don't.
And when I say mass, I don't mean like Catholic mass. I mean like it's a bunch of people getting married all at once.
So it's basically this pastor stands there, and it's just like all of them at once saying that they
basically.
Yeah, I can't. I don't understand that at all.
Do you want?
At least it's a cute church.
Yeah.
Give it that.
Do you want me to copy it so you can put it in the...
You can.
On OBS? I can do that.
Yeah, send it to me. Cool. Or
yeah, I put it in the Google Doc, yeah.
All right, I got it there.
Yeah, and I mean, if you place such a value on getting married, not necessarily on the, on the marriage itself, because there's so many people who want to get married to have a wedding, not to have a marriage. And I think that's what a lot of it boils down to these days.
I agree.
Is but at the same time, though, I think it's good that people are either waiting longer to get married or that they're not getting married. Because they realize, if there are people that are our age, they've been through long-term relationships, and some of us have been through. Ooh, that's nice.
Yeah. That's,
it's Logitech too.
Yeah, that's the new camera we're getting.
And
it was supposed to be here yesterday.
It's cool. And some people have been through, marriages and subsequent divorces.
Yeah.
And it's just such a hassle. I mean, if you want to get married, you do you. I'm not gonna judge and take away from your life choices, but make sure you're doing it for your own reasons and not to make somebody else happy.
Yeah, for
basically.
sure. Absolutely.
Yeah.
What's funny is for some reason. Yeah, for some reason I can't download.
Oh,
yeah.
Link.
Can't download from.
Can you link? Or no, that's gonna insert a link in that.
I mean, I guess.
Image options.
Yeah. It just makes it so that I can
So
I mean, I could save
I'll
it to
do this
key.
instead.
Oh, it only allows me to save it to key, but doesn't allow me to save it to drive. That's weird. Crazy photos. Oh, the photos.
Yeah, sorry, because there's that. That's a direct link to it.
Cool.
To the photo, so you can just paste that in OBS.
Yeah. Click. I like it.
I do what I can. I try and help. Sometimes it's more useful than other times.
Yep. And it'll actually see, you can see how I'm doing things right here, because we only have the one camera, and so it's it's attached to the keyboard and stuff. hi there. And so you can always see when I do that. It's gonna be a lot nicer whenever we have that camera.
Yeah.
Which is.
I'll have to start wearing makeup. I want to look
Are you not
nice.
currently? I don't even. I can't. I don't know. Because
I'm
I
not wearing
don't. I don't like judge. I don't even like consider it.
I feel like I just turned very red. I don't know.
It's beautiful no matter what.
But yeah, I would love to be able to talk to some of these couples. I'd love to be able to sort of see what the success rate is, quote unquote success rate, because people who, just because someone stays married doesn't mean that it's necessarily a successful marriage. I'm just saying.
That's true.
Yeah. Ooh,
Oh yeah.
it's big. It's gonna cover your face.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's gonna cover everything for a second.
Oh yeah. You can do the stretchy stretch.
Mm-hmm.
Fit to screen. Yeah.
Screen.
Yeah, like I want to talk to some of these
Oh,
people.
we're in the background. That's cool. I could do that.
We'll just do like this.
That's fine. Yeah, we're in the background. That's the actual church. This is Concord Church. It's not an enormous church.
No, I'm a little curious and I kind of want to go there.
Way over here. I'm looking at you, Jesus.
My
checking-
microphone's all the way over here.
I'm looking at you, Jesus.
Oh, dear.
I'm judging you from behind the curtain.
Oh dear.
It could be over here and be like God, you know.
God.
Don't
Jesus. God.
bring the microphone
Jesus.
over.
God.
Don't do this.
That's funny.
Don't do it. I'm God. But that's the actual church. I do like this. Hi, Susan.
Hi.
It's like we're talking to each other from across the room.
Please no. All right. So that's Concord Church. Yeah, I'd kind of like to go there sometime.
Oops.
Just to see if we can find out what it's like.
Uh-huh.
And I do genuinely want to talk to some of these people because I want to be like, "Hey, you did this.
Mm-hmm.
Would you rather have waited to do it and do the wedding your own way? Do you think that would have ultimately made you happier? Or do you think you should have are you good with the way that this happened? Are you like, is that cool?"
Yeah. Well, I'd also like to know, like, I'd like to hear the success rate.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like,
Yeah.
like you can't really, because you can't really measure a successful marriage just because it doesn't end. Yeah, I was gonna copy
I need that. I need to
copy
grab
the
that.
image address. You can't really gauge how quote unquote successful a marriage is just because they didn't get divorced.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's plenty of people who stay in marriages who are completely unhappy. And
all the time.
That's why we actually have divorce rates the way that they are now, is because it's not like how it was 2, 3, 4 generations ago. When you had to stay in your marriage because this was your only way to survive. You know, your husband may be beating you, or, you know, your children may all have died of dysentery. I don't know. Don't ask.
I think that's how that works.
I don't know.
That's the Oregon Trail, Susan. As far as I know, dysentery is not
4 generations ago.
Oh yes, for sure.
That's why I said 2, 3, 4.
It's no matter how, if you go back far enough.
Sometimes he listens.
Sometimes it makes a comeback.
Like measles.
Yep.
Doing
Hi
right
there,
now.
Measles. Measles is like, hi.
Yeah.
We appreciate you bringing us up on your show multiple times.
Cough, cough,
Is
cough.
that what that's the new Measles voice?
I mean, I can get behind it.
Yeah.
So anytime we need to talk about like anti-vax stuff, that's the measles voice.
comes
That's
in.
just the general
Hi, it's me again.
preventable disease voice.
It's almost like Eeyore, which I can also do very well.
I mean, that's basically Eeyore, yeah.
Eeyore
like
is just like a
90%
little
there.
bit more drawn out.
Yeah.
Yeah, Eeyore, and we actually did. That was a voice that I did. We had a full conversation. This was down in Big Bend, right?
In different accents?
Yes.
No, that was on Periscope. That was here.
Well, we did one where I was like Eeyore, and it was talking to the volcanoes.
Yes.
And it was by himself, right?
Yeah.
The volcano was by itself. I don't remember what I called that one, but it was like, I'm just over here,
Yeah.
all
It
alone.
was very funny.
It is like one volcano sitting off by itself.
Yeah, it looked really sad.
It's still dormant like the rest of them down there, but at one point it was
Volcano.
like I used to be a part of a family. I was gonna do something with this. What was I gonna do with this?
Oh, so that's
Nope. I was gonna stretch.
that's divine intervention.
Intbirdvention.
Yeah, because I was trying to figure out a way to make it work, and I figured it out.
Yes.
So, what do you do when you are speeding? Granted, it was by about 4 miles an hour. What do you do when you're speeding and you get caught by one of those radars?
Like a red light camera?
Yeah.
I don't. I keep going usually, but
Well, yeah, but so
I get a ticket.
Let's say exactly.
I get it in the mail.
Exactly,
Yeah.
you would get a ticket.
Yeah, 'cause Texas is stupid. Apparently Germany is too.
Well, so there was a driver in Germany that had gotten caught speeding by one of these radar cameras that apparently a bird flying by at the exact right time concealed the driver's identity, so they could not be entirely sure. See, they got the plate for the car,
Yeah.
so that wasn't a big deal. But they need, in addition to having a license plate, they also need to have a clear picture of the driver's face.
Yeah.
Yeah, so because they want to make sure that the ticket goes to the correct person, that it's not necessarily, we're just going to send it to the owner of the vehicle sort of thing. So it was a €105 fine.
105 euros, by the way, is less than $105.
It's 93 pounds, which would probably be about
Not even 90.
$87.
Yeah, it's somewhere. It's not 90.
I
so.
don't know. I don't know currency exchange rates.
Yeah, look, let's just make it the American dollar, folks. We don't need to know all this rest of this stuff.
It's the finest piece of paper.
Yes,
Like Ron
the
Swanson.
finest piece of white man paper of all time.
No, it's like what Ron Swanson says when he's trying to
Oh,
buy
yeah.
the postcard.
This is the
when they're in
finest
England.
piece of paper. But it is true, though, because we pushed Harriet Tubman back. Again, not only is it no Harriet Tubman, it's just pictures of white guys.
Yeah, awful people.
Yes, for the most part.
so-
Andrew Jackson, looking at you, buddy.
Getting back.
All right, Germany.
Getting it back to the topic at hand. So the police issued a statement. It was a very lighthearted statement, which I think is appropriate considering the circumstances.
Yeah.
It suggested that perhaps it was no coincidence the Holy Spirit intervened. And that's because apparently, it was a dove and stuff. They're thinking that it was God. I don't think they genuinely think it's God. I think they're making a cheeky statement. But at the same time, don't do that. It's dumb.
Yeah.
Just
I think,
don't.
I appreciate their humor. I do, because this is the dove is it's like the Randy Johnson dove, right?
Yeah,
Or that's
which
a
was
pigeon.
just the perfect. I think it was
a pigeon. He just
I think it was a pigeon.
fucking murdered it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's just like wrong place, wrong time, poof goes the bird, basically.
So this one was like that bird's great grand niece.
Great,
Right.
great.
Yeah.
Great.
That's from Emperor's New Groove right there.
Is it?
Yeah.
I've never seen that movie.
You've never seen the Emperor's New
Stop
Groove?
stop being shocked by these things.
I'm
So
gonna rest my head on the microphone.
They said, "We have understood the sign and leave the speeder in peace this time. We hope that the protected speeder likewise understands this hint from above and drives appropriately in the future."
It's 4 miles an hour. All right.
Yeah.
The dove was saying, "Stop being a dick, Germany."
Basically.
It's 4 miles an hour. God.
I mean, on one hand, I think it's very nice of them to not send them the ticket just based on the plate, but at
Yeah.
the same time,
Yeah.
Just
Somebody
stop.
stole my car. That's not even me driving.
yeah, that is legit a defense that gets used a lot of the time and that sort of thing.
I believe it.
So, and also,
No, that's like whenever they have the
red
fake-
light cameras are illegal anyway.
They are. Yeah, they're striking them down in Texas.
Yeah.
That's like when the people that go in HOV lanes and they put dolls
A
and
blow-up
stuff.
doll.
Yeah, and I saw one person had a skeleton, not just for Halloween, although that's also a thing that happens, just so they don't get tickets when they're driving in the HOV lanes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, take public transportation. Also, that's actually very very ingenuitive. That's not a word. I just made it
Ingenious.
up. I don't know.
Ingenuous. I don't know.
I appreciate their ingenuity, though.
Yeah, there we go.
I do. I would not, and this is like, I wouldn't give somebody a ticket for that. I'd be like, you know what? You went out of your way to take your blow-up sex doll from your house without being embarrassed.
I really hope they properly cleaned it.
Even if you didn't, and you put it, actually because you didn't, and you put it in the vehicle next to you. Like, while you're driving, I realize it doesn't really matter to you that it's next to you regardless.
Yeah.
But you know what? I'd be like, good for you.
Yeah.
No ticket.
Well,
I wouldn't.
The quote
It is still naked, though.
The quote-unquote HOV lanes here in DFW aren't actually HOV. It's just a lesser toll charge. It's like half of the... I don't know if it's half of the toll tag price or half of the pay-by-mail price. I don't remember off the top of my head. I think it's half the toll tag price.
Yeah.
But you have to pre-register.
Yeah. All I know is they're not putting that money toward the roads.
They're not.
Yeah.
They're definitely not.
I don't know.
Do you want to talk about sex in heaven? And the lack thereof?
Apparently there's not any sex in heaven.
That's what Greg Morse is saying, apparently.
Look,
So
if there's a heaven,
I don't want to go there.
yeah, it's like I already am like super stoked that I'm not going to that place anyway.
Yeah.
Like if it exists, I don't want to be there because of like the ruler of like that particular heaven.
Right.
But now it made it even like less appealing.
Yeah, now it's just super, super sucky. And I do not want to go there. So
Not only is it boring, there's also not any sex.
Which I think ultimately also makes it kind of boring.
Yeah, now it's like there's nothing to take away the.
Yeah, there's no reason.
Yeah. Ugh.
It does. It's de-incentivized it for me. $5 word. So Greg Morse, who is a staff writer for the website Desiring God, which it's not even a magazine, it's just a website. He has also complained about Captain Marvel. And in addition, of course
Imagine he complained, Captain Marvel.
I mean, of course.
It's like,
I know this.
Wait, you're telling me that a person who complained about Captain Marvel says there's no sex in heaven? Oh, I did not see this coming.
He also says that effeminate men won't get into heaven.
I have people tell me that I'm effeminate. What does that mean?
That you apparently have somewhat feminine mannerisms or features, which I don't think you do.
I don't know. I've never actually thought about it.
No,
I joke.
because you don't care.
Yeah, I joke sometimes, but yeah.
You don't really care about it. So Morse says in this article that he was recently talking to, quote, an avid admirer of women's company, which I guess that's an interesting way to say that that guy has slept with a lot of women. So that's an interesting way to say it.
I like how the camera catches me looking at my phone. Look, folks, my notes are on my phone. Also
Twitter is too.
Soccer.
And sports.
I think it's soccer.
And sports. So this avid admirer of women's company mentioned the Islamic belief, or supposed, because I don't know if this is actually a thing or if it's just one of those people spread it far and wide. It's not actually true. The belief of, getting 72 virgins in the afterlife.
Oh, yeah.
Is that actually a belief that they hold?
Yeah, some of them do.
Okay. Because I know we've got a couple of Qurans, and I at some point could read them, but genuinely, that just really makes my brain hurt.
The Quran is weird to read.
It really is. And this line that Heba Mehta uses that I'm just going to go ahead and read verbatim. A lot of times I try to just read quotes verbatim, but this one I'm going to read verbatim. It's totally the sort of conversation normal people have around a Christian writer, and it's very believable since people who have lots of sex always talk about how much fun virgins are.
Yeah. I can tell you that when I was younger, that was actually like a thing.
Yeah.
That not only does the person not want to be a virgin anymore, but also that there was this thing like, oh, I want to take somebody else's virginity as well.
It's so dumb.
But now I'm old enough to be president, and there are, of all the people that I would have sex with, virgin or not virgin, 100% don't bring me a virgin. Like,
No.
no, why would I want to have some sex with somebody who's probably not going to enjoy it?
Yeah.
Who is inexperienced? Like, I've had this conversation before, jokingly, but also true. If I'm going to be promised if I'm going to do some sort of 12-step program like Heracles or something, and I'm going to get like all of the sexy time that I want in whatever heaven I go to, bring me the most experienced, most degraded, like, sexual beings that you can fucking find. Because
That's fair.
number one, I've got eternity, which means 72 virgins out immediately, right?
See, but then, okay.
Is it 72 like continuously?
Yeah.
Even then, it's not.
Do the 72?
It's not fun.
Yeah. Do they get replaced? Like once you've had sex with one, do they end up going to Earth, and then that's their life? So then, if someone else dies a virgin, then they go to heaven, and then they're your virgin. So it's like constantly 72. That's just always being replaced.
Well, also, how old are the virgins?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Because when this was written, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, again. Not even obviously there's pedophilia there, but without even making that joke, these are children.
They are.
And it's still, even if they were 18, are they just like made for me in heaven?
That's creepy.
Or did somebody have to die for them to be made? I feel like there's probably a contract somewhere.
That's really creepy.
But again, nobody that actually enjoys, you can see me holding my mouse, they even actually enjoys having lots of sex, which we do, but even has multiple sexual partners, which we do not.
No.
When I was single and had multiple sexual partners,
As in concurrently.
yeah, none of them were virgins.
Yeah. No.
I don't want to have sex with a virgin.
I'm trying to think. I think I've slept with 2 virgins.
Oh my God.
When I was 18 and 22.
I don't remember.
I do. I don't know how I do.
For all I know, if somebody said they were a virgin, they could have been lying to me anyways.
Yeah, who knows?
Let's lie to get in as a virgin. I want to be somebody's virgin.
Oh dear.
You know.
Oh dear. So Morse goes on to say about no sex in heaven, because apparently God has something way, way better in store for you, and that's sort of like. That's just in like a reason to take away anything, though. Like here, we're gonna take away this fudge sickle or the idea of this fudge sickle because we have something better, but we're not gonna tell you what it is. Well, but I want the fudge sickle. Well, you can't have it.
Yeah, I want the fudge sickle now, and I want whatever the fuck's in heaven next.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want both.
Yeah, and I mean, going back to what Hemometa was saying, because again, I don't like to just read them verbatim, but sometimes they're really funny. This is a harp. We have even more glorious instruments in heaven. A toilet. No one shits in heaven. Seeing our loved ones again. We have even better loved ones in heaven, and I love it. I love it so much. Yeah, but he goes on to say, you know, no matter if you think about it, considering a conservative Christian's view on sex and that it should only be within the confines of marriage,
yeah,
and that a lot of times they say it should only be for the sake of procreating,
yeah,
like nothing, not for pleasure, just for procreation, then they're not, I mean, it's not a big deal to them to give it up if it's not something that they're doing for fun.
Yeah, they're not doing it anyways.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, no sex? That's like my life. And I'm like,
yeah,
like I don't. That's a very. I don't want to commit to anything. As a person who now has experienced life without the like confines of religion. Mm-hmm. I don't ever want to join a religion that tells me that I can't do something that is biologically natural.
Yeah.
Whether it's for procreation or otherwise.
Right.
Just because I don't follow their set of rules. And I think that that is it's very restrictive, and that's why it's there, obviously.
Oh, of course.
And it's not there because of the guys. That's for fucking sure.
No.
And I find that's something that it's. I would never go back to Christianity. There are a lot of reasons. Mm-hmm. Even if the Christian God was real, if it is that Yahweh character, I would never go back to Christianity because of that.
Yeah.
Like specifically because that's an additional reason.
Right.
It's like you're telling me that I can't have sex. Because why?
Because it's apparently what God wants is for you to not have sex. And even
though he never actually fucking says it.
Always it's what gets me. The part of this, I guess, that gets me is the fact that they say you can't do all these things. Like, you can't have sex, you can't masturbate, you can't, you can't be gay, you can't, like, exist as a gay person. Mm-hmm. They say all of these things, and they're all like, if you do these things, then you're gonna go to hell. But I was under the impression, and correct me if I'm wrong, because you know your Bible a lot better than I do. I was under the impression that Jesus says the only unforgivable sin is, like, disbelief or unbelief or something like that.
Blasphemy the Holy Spirit.
Like,
and that's not necessarily something Jesus even says either.
But like, isn't that something that's from the New Testament?
Yeah, it's in the New Testament. And that's also depending on depends which denomination you're a part of.
True.
Some of them do the once saved always saved thing, to which I say, no, send me to hell. I do not want to be here.
Yeah.
Because I was saved.
Well, we've had that conversation, and I don't know if we had it. I think we had it on Periscope.
Probably.
Of, something about, oh God, what was it? Oh, I just brain farted.
We have a lot of conversations on Periscope.
Yeah, we do. Something having to do with the concept of being saved. And, oh no, it was if you grow up religious and then you leave religion when you're an adult. Mm-hmm. And if God is omniscient, omnipotent. If God sees everything and knows so both. If God is omniscient and omnipotent.
Omnipresent, yeah.
Thank you.
It's got the trifecta of omnis.
Then he's going to know that you are going to leave religion.
Yeah.
And even that brings the whole free will thing into the argument, but like,
also means that God knows you ain't gonna be a virgin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God's gonna know that you are one day actually going to be destined for hell because you left religion and stopped believing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, God knows that before I was born.
Which is shitty.
Like he also knew that I'd be a youth pastor, and then he also knew that I would have a lot of sex before marriage too. So also that I was never gonna get married.
Yeah.
So good for you, Jesus.
Marriage,
for knowing things and still telling me that I'm damned for doing the things
not doing anything to prevent it.
Knew that I was going to do. Yeah. That's messed up. You should have taken away the opportunity for me to choose the thing you knew I was going to choose anyway. Which means I didn't choose it, dick.
If God was that great, then I like to think that he would be able to prevent that shit. Well, it's like Tracy Harris says, like, if I saw a little kid being raped, then I would do something to stop it. And that's the difference between me and your God.
Was it Tracy Harris call out?
Yes, it was.
That's
why I said.
We don't usually call out people on the...
That's why I said it's like Tracy Harris.
Oh, I know, yeah. I added on to it. We usually don't call out people like that. Well, not call out, but like shout out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do really, really like Tracy Harris. I've only met her like the once.
We got to talk to her down in Austin back in... Is that when you met her?
Yeah.
Oh.
And what's funny is, like, we've been friends on
That's like 2
Facebook.
Months ago.
We've been friends on Facebook for, like, ages.
Yeah.
So it's like, why have I not actually met you yet? Like, what the hell?
Well, I tell you what, and that is a good point. Like, Tracy, why haven't we met? Why haven't we sat down and met? There's actually some people that actually were on and speaking with me, and they said that you and I should go on to Atheist Experience.
That you should?
That we should.
You should.
I don't know about that.
I can't hold my own in that stuff. I know that. I cannot hold my own in that stuff. I'm not nearly as quick on my feet.
Oh.
I do better in, like, internet stuff where I can research stuff.
Yeah.
Because I don't know it off the top of my head like I need to if I'm going to do something that's, flying by the seat of my pants like Atheist Experience is.
Oh, yeah, that kind of makes sense.
Yeah, I'm not.
I think I've heard. I think they don't have any new arguments, and I've heard all of them. And
yeah, so you can basically just say the same thing over and over.
they do.
Yeah.
So why not me?
True.
Blue Collar Heathen does say, if there's no sex, is it really heaven? That's a really good point.
I mean, it probably isn't.
For as religious as the United States is, even with a decline in religion, there's a rather populous country that is not at all religious.
No.
And is for some reason attempting to inject religion into their community, but it's not for the reasons that you would think.
Yeah,
That was such a good transition.
That was a really
Yes.
good transition. I'm very proud of you. That was a really good one.
Thank you to everybody.
You can see the point where the delay. You can see the point where I burp.
Yeah, that happened. That was the thing she did.
So, China. I'm awful at world politics. So basically, I'm going based on this whole entire article.
This is from Fox News.
It is from Fox News, which I don't know why you get stuff from Fox News when you can find it from other places.
It's the easiest. I do Fox News, Christianity Today, ChristianNews.com.
Yeah, why do you give them the clicks?
I don't click on there. No, I have the ad blocker. Every single one of them
I do too.
is like, turn off your ad blocker. And I'm like, fuck you, Jesus.
Yeah, it's like, no, I'm not going to.
Go ahead.
So, China, as a country, is running a 5-day Confucian culture immersion, course, multiple courses, for religious leaders in the sage's hometown as part of a campaign to extend government control over faith communities through a process of Sinicization. I'm
Yes.
pretty sure I said that right because
Yes.
I YouTubed the pronunciation earlier.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure I said that right.
That is it.
And I had to Google what Sinicization was. Sinicization was. There we go. So according to Wikipedia, so thank you Wikipedia, go support Wikipedia, donate some money to them. It's a process whereby non-Chinese societies come under the influence of Chinese culture, particularly Han Chinese culture, language, societal norms, and ethnic identity. Areas of influence include diet, writing, industry, education, language, law, lifestyle. Okay, it's basically everything.
Yeah.
It's that's a lot of stuff.
It's in everything.
It also it refers to the policies of acculturation, assimilation, or cultural imperialism imposed by China onto neighboring East Asian countries and minority ethnic groups inside China.
Yeah.
So it's basically just China's way, or this is what I am taking away from this. It's basically China's way of enforcing across the board. What's the word I'm looking for? Something along the lines of standardization. There we go.
Yeah.
It's like a standardization of the society.
Yeah.
Is what they're attempting.
They are. They are because they are communistic and they're a non-religious country, right? China has more atheists than the rest of the world, and they see, and I think this is actually in the article, they see the intrusion, if you want to call it that, of Christianity and Islam. Now, Christianity and Islam are declining in the Western world, but they're not declining in certain places in the Middle East and into places like China and India. And China, the government, sees this as a bad thing. Right.
And so President Xi Jinping has been really trying to crack down on these foreign religious practices, while trying to elevate homegrown Confucianism.
Good old Confucius.
I gotta Google that for the exact definition of the term too. Well, oh wait, here we go. A system of philosophical and ethical teachings founded by Confucius and developed by how do you say that? Mencius?
Oh, yeah, Mencius.
Mencius. Oh, okay. I'm really bad at pronouncing things, so it's like a running joke with my Geek Student Quizzers. Uh-oh.
No, it's okay.
Do we want to?
No, it's fine.
Okay.
Don't even
Sorry.
Don't even read this on the screen.
Okay. So I guess it's not something I'm very familiar with because it seems like it's something that is rooted in philosophy.
Yeah, Confucianism is a bit of a philosophy. It's not actually that far removed from other Near Eastern religions and stuff like that, but it is Chinese. Mm-hmm. That's
like specifically Chinese.
Yes, that is the biggest part of that, is because they want to say this is Chinese culture.
Okay.
These other cultures, and this is how they're again attempting to exert more control. And China is fairly well known for cracking down on and people like missionaries that'll go to China, and then you're throwing them in jail and stuff like that. And so in this case, what they're saying is, well, people are still converting to Christianity and to Islam. Well, that's what they're saying. Well, if you do that, that's not Chinese.
Right.
This is Chinese. And Confucianism is Chinese. It's more of a culture thing, so they can continue to exert control over the people that live in those provinces. Yeah, it's not really.
There's just so much of a comparison between that and what it seems like Christians are wanting to do here, but they want to do it at the governmental level like they're doing in China.
Yeah.
Like, I think Christians would be totally and completely happy with that.
And Rob's, is it Reb Spence?
Oh, it's Reb! Hi,
counts
Reb.
against you in the soul. Yeah, actually, that is correct. Yes. They do everything they can, and this is just another part of that, to ensure that there is a single cohesive Chinese system.
Yeah.
And they are absolutely communist. Their flair and their flavor of communism kicks out religion altogether. It's not. Well, it is. There's no gulags, and so it's quite a bit different than like Stalinistic.
Right.
But this is even different than like Mao's China. Mm-hmm. Right. What they say is, they're not going to put you in jail for practicing religion, but communism is as the United States should be with its irreligious.
Right.
Like, it does not have religion inside of it. We're really good at it though, anyways. And what they do is they say you're on a lower level if you practice Christianity or Islam, right? More Christianity. They see Christianity as more of a threat. And to me, I don't understand why. India is right there.
True.
And there's a lot of India has more religions.
Yeah.
But Christianity is more of a threat, and there's actually a big reason for that. People are more likely to go to Christianity because it is almost the opposite of.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that and Reb Spence, I am uncertain of. We'd have to get that and talk about that like on a later episode. I don't know if that's actually true, but this is their way of saying Christianity seems like it's nice, and Christianity seems like it's going to give you these rewards and everything, but it's not Chinese.
Right.
This is Chinese,
yeah.
and they continue to control based on that.
Yeah.
Saying if you're going to be away from the rest of everybody, that means that you are separated from the rest of us.
Right.
But if you look at Confucianism and look how great Confucianism is and how it's been in Chinese culture for so long, and so it's like a revival of Confucianism as well, which is actually kind of cool because Confucius was pretty cool stuff.
Oh.
Hey, none of that shit's true.
Yeah.
But
I
like it.
I doubt I believe in any of it, but it's cool.
There's certain parts of it that I think, just like I think there's certain parts of every modern, if you want to call it religion, that a person could take to heart.
Yeah.
I don't agree with the love your neighbor as yourself type thing, because what if you hate yourself? Like,
that's a good
there's
point.
A lot
and
of
also,
things.
What if your neighbor is a piece of trash?
Yeah.
So there's that too.
Speaking of neighbors that are pieces of trash.
Neighbors that are trash. Actually, this is surprising. This is a surprisingly good story.
It is a good story, but it started because it was a negative story.
That's
and
right.
I do appreciate what the mayor of the town said about this. This goes down to it is Leander.
Yes,
it's not Leander.
Leander.
Texas, come on, fix your names.
It's Leander.
we talk about Texas. We don't try to talk about Texas a lot, by the way.
It just happens. It's sort of like how we talk about Christianity so often because it's just in our immediate purview.
Yeah.
So, so in Leander, Texas, this makes me very happy.
Yeah.
Which is like, this is one of those...
This is happy news.
This is one of those things that it's all like, hey, this is a good thing that a church has done. So, the city's library announced that they were going to host one of those drag queen story hour events, which there's been a lot of controversy surrounding them because there's been a number of other cities that have canceled their drag queen story hours after, you know, a lot of outrage and stuff like that, which I don't understand because I just think it's really, really precious. Like, these kids are just like fascinated by, you know, drag queens, and I'm like, I love this.
And this story actually kind of gets into that a little bit too, talking about, you know, what how one could view that character.
Yeah.
And it's really great. So the drag queen story hour is not new. There are other places, as you mentioned, in the country that do it.
Right.
I know that it's especially like on the East Coast and Northeast, and they're attended by a lot of people.
They are.
And as it turns out, they're fairly positive.
Yeah, for the most part, they've had really, really good, like a really positive reception. But there is a church, and
I love that because it looks like it's upside down.
Oh, I mean, it basically is.
Sorry,
in the picture it is.
Looking at the screen.
So there's a relatively new church in Leander called Open Cathedral. They meet in a local elementary school, which when I went to an evangelical church, we met in an elementary school as well. Mm-hmm. The pastor of this church, who is an ordained minister in the United Church of Christ, they said, we must never stop striving for safe spaces for our kids to be unique and loved no matter what. And this is my favorite part right here, because the pastor said that he founded the church because he, quote, was tired of church sucking.
Yeah.
Makes me so happy.
Yeah.
I like that.
This is a lot like when we went down to Austin and we had the Faithless Forum like after party, and it was at the United Methodist Church.
Oh, it wasn't. It was Atheist Day, not Faithless Forum.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
It's like 2 weeks in a row, basically.
Faithless Forum was Kona Grill.
Yeah, it's Kona Grill for that. That's a good time.
Yeah.
Expensive, but this person's a lot like that Methodist church we went to.
Yeah,
right?
the Speedway.
Yeah,
I think it's like speed. Yeah.
Very accepting.
Like they also say that they want to be ever more open to and affirming of all people by embracing similarities and embracing differences in age, race, ethnicity, income level, ability, sexual orientation, and gender expression. And I mean, I feel like it's such a low bar that we've set.
Yeah.
For when a church is actually acting like, you know, treating others like they're humans. beings.
Yeah.
We are blown away by this.
Yes.
We are like, what? We don't know what to do with ourselves.
I love this. I really do because it's a church.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And they're using their position as a church in order to be just all like, yo, other churches that have been against this, that's not cool.
Yeah.
Because we're doing this. This is the same thing you should do. So Mayor Troy Hill, who is the mayor of Leander, Texas, said, our library, which is run by a company contracted by the city, chose to wade into social issues, water, without approval from city staff. Since then, it has led to predictable outrage and divisiveness that is the reason to avoid these issues. I'd be curious if those favoring inclusiveness would feel the same way if it had been storytelling time about the life of Donald Trump, or how those who want it canceled would feel about canceling a story of guns in America. We have lost our ability to discuss with respect for opposing views. You have said that exact same thing before.
I have, and I think that's important. The mayor makes a really good point.
Yeah.
He called out the company that apparently owns the library, and he said they went and they did that on purpose.
Yeah.
They went and they spoke on social media, did this on purpose.
Yep.
Without our consent.
Yep.
And I've not actually seen any of those posts or messages or comments,
right.
But I can imagine what they are. They're probably 90% of the things that I've ever like commented on and something like that when I've gotten the vitriol from loving Christians.
Yeah. When you'll
And
get into Facebook arguments, speaking in all caps, and they didn't
yes, a lot of
realize that you
exclamation
were-
points. They don't know what sarcasm is.
Yeah,
It's
they didn't
fine.
realize
It's
you were
fine. It's
sarcastic.
fine. They'll learn at some point, or they won't. And I have said,
I am really good at pausing.
you are. That is great. I have said multiple times, like even recently, that our inability to listen, our inability to accept differences. Now there are some differences that there are extreme things that do not deserve to be listened to.
Right.
But this is not one of them.
Right.
Our inability to listen to opposing viewpoints is a bad thing.
It is.
It is awful.
Yeah.
There are things. I am far left.
I am too.
And I make no bones about that. I'm far left. I listen to folks that are moderate, and I listen to folks that are more conservative on purpose.
Yeah.
Why? Because not all their ideas are bad. They're not bad people for the most part.
Yeah.
The same could be said about those on the left.
Yeah.
Not every person that has an idea that's on the left has a good idea.
Right.
It's not, and it
You're
should
going
be.
to have outliers
Yeah.
on either side, on any side of the spectrum. You're
Yeah.
going to have outliers of people who are awful people. I mean, regardless, they're going to, somebody's going to be awful no matter what movement you're in.
Yeah. Now, so there are things that are deserving of immediate outrage.
Right.
The KKK rally in Dayton,
Yes.
immediate outrage, good.
Where there were
Nine.
members
Yeah.
of the KKK and hundreds of anti-KKK protesters.
Which is great,
that
by the
showed
way,
up.
as there should be.
Yeah.
Absolutely. With that being said, very few ideas are like that. Very few of them.
There are a lot of things that have nuance that people aren't willing to accept the nuance.
Correct. And I received backlash when I said that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm one thing that I'm never willing to compromise on, and I realize this, it's just I will take a hard line on reproductive justice stuff.
Oh, yeah. I agree.
Like, that's one of those, I will dig my heels in. Even with my broken ankle, I will dig those heels in.
Is it still broken?
And-
Does it count as still broken?
I mean,
It's still damaged.
yeah. I have PT starting in a couple weeks.
Yeah. Oh, I agree with you.
Yeah.
But there are very few ideas
Right.
that deserve immediate dismissal.
Right.
Immediate outrage.
Yeah.
The Fox News has been saying this bullshit for a long time, this quote unquote outrage culture.
Mm-hmm.
They're right.
Yeah.
Outrage culture is a thing.
Yeah.
People get outraged on all across the spectrum. And I'm guilty of it myself sometimes. Of just being upset about something.
Yeah, I've heard it called cancel culture, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just being completely just anti something, sometimes just because of the person that said it.
Yeah.
Without listening to what the person's actually saying, just looking at it. People don't listen to Nancy Pelosi just because she's Nancy Pelosi.
Right.
And that includes some Democrats. That includes people on the left who
Right.
classify themselves somewhere in the left.
Yeah.
Right? Just because. People don't listen to some folks on the right. Like, people won't listen to Mitt Romney at all.
Right.
Just because. People won't listen to John McCain at all just because they're on the right.
Yeah.
And I
they
find-
wouldn't be willing to listen to John McCain because he was actually willing to talk stuff out.
He's a centrist.
Yeah.
And I don't disagree with. I didn't agree with him on everything.
No.
Certainly not. I didn't vote for him.
No.
But when it comes down to it, immediately dismissing and going in, not just dismissing, but immediately being outraged about something.
Yeah, I
is-
think there's a lot to be said for trying to talk stuff out and trying to not only see maybe why somebody thinks something and see how they think something, the epistemology stuff, but also
Gotta get Anthony on here. too.
trying to have them see why you think what you think and how you think what you think. And there's sometimes that if, I think I said this, I don't know if it was on Periscope or if it was on here, when there was the 40 Days of Life protest that that was at the closed clinic in Corpus.
Yeah.
That I had a sign that said, ask me about my abortion, and
Yeah.
some lady came up and was starting to argue about abortion and stuff, and there came a point, like I was talking to her, and I think there were a couple of other people, and there came a point, and I don't remember exactly what was said, but when she did say, well, no, I think X, when X was what we were saying the whole entire time.
Yeah.
Was like, a woman deserves a right to choose.
I agree.
And she was like, well, no, like, I think she should have the choice.
Got it.
And it's all like, that's what we're saying.
Yeah, and that's
what we're saying, lady.
And that type of conversation is great.
Yeah.
The young, the person that is involved in this is going to be doing at least one of the drag queen hour, right? Story hour.
Yeah, drag queen story hour. Yeah.
Even brought this up and said, "How am I different from a character in a film?
Yeah.
How am I different from one of the characters that's on stage?
Yeah.
I have dressed up before. By the way, you don't know this.
I didn't know this.
My older brother can tell you this story because he was involved.
Oh, no.
This is real.
Are
Are
there photos?
I do not believe there are photos. This is back when I was in the 7th grade.
Damn it.
And I was I was at a country school in northeast Nebraska.
Uh-huh.
There were, I think, altogether 11 of us in this country school from K to 7, K to 8. I think so. Kindergarten to 8th grade for all of you that don't know that. And went there and we did Cinderella. All right. I was not Cinderella.
Damn it.
Nope, I was not. I was the secondary character though, and I received the most laughs in the entire time because I am an actor. Yes, what you're thinking is correct. And I was cast, and my grandfather thought it was the most hilarious thing ever as the fairy godmother.
Yes.
Yes.
That's what I was thinking. That's what I was hoping.
And I dressed up in drag, as a 7th grader.
Well,
right?
yeah.
In drag as the fairy godmother.
That's awesome.
And I am certain there are no videos of this. And
that's awesome.
Yep. But I think Tristan Carpenter, who was a friend that I had at that point, his sister, I forget her name. I think she was Cinderella though. She and I are we still communicate every now and again, and still keep in touch with some of those folks.
That's awesome.
But how is the drag queen hour any different than that?
It's not. Yeah. It's not. I mean, and it's basically the same concept as cosplay.
Talking Snake is dressed up. There is yesterday or the 26th.
Yeah.
There was there is a furry group that's in DFW.
Yeah.
Right. There's more than a dozen people that are a part of this, and they dress up. Right. Mm-hmm. I don't. By the way, the one thing that I question about
That's
this.
Gonna fall.
Is it going to fall?
I can almost guarantee you.
Gravity, it's my mouse.
I can almost guarantee you.
Talking Snakes in the comments, y'all. I always wonder, they all have the heads on, right? Mm-hmm. Of the character, of the animal. Why are the eyes always why are they never out? They're always in the middle, near the bridge of the nose. You ever notice that?
I don't know.
I'm gonna see if I can't find that photo. It's like the Dallas furry group you can find. They went bowling the other night, and I noticed that it's always they're.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah, they're always right smack. And I
think sometimes because typically on character heads, the eyes are further up, so you see out of the mouth. But I think in this case, you actually see out of the eyes.
Oh, that makes sense.
So they have to put it down lower and more centered, because even though the face is larger, mm-hmm. you still have to have the eyes in the same proportion as they are on your regular face.
Okay, but
I'm a little. I don't know how I know that.
I don't know.
If
that's not correct, it sure as hell sounds like it is.
I can say anything and make it sound correct.
But I wonder if not the church, but the people at the library would be upset if it was them.
Oh, I can guarantee they would be.
Would they?
Because they're furries, and furries are widely ostracized group.
What if
You
it
need
was,
to think of it in the sense of, what if it was the 501st?
That's kind of where I was going next.
Yeah.
The 501st, if you don't know, please.
The 501st is a group of intense cosplayers.
Yeah, they are.
They are all around the country. And specifically, they're Star Wars cosplayers. You have to have movie-accurate cosplay in order to be part of the 501st. I know one person who has done stuff with them. They have a Kylo Ren cosplay, and it's amazing. It's so good. I need to find photos of it because it's an amazing cosplay.
Yeah, oops, tried to make a change, and then YouTube was like, you want to do that. They get to pay to be part of that, too.
Yeah, I think
Pay
you've
dues.
got to, pay.
But so
pay
dressing
shit.
up as a stormtrooper is perfectly fine, right?
Yeah.
But I wonder if a character, like, what if Robin Williams came in as Mrs. Doubtfire?
I don't know. It depends on if they knew what it was from. Just because it's well known doesn't mean that it's necessarily any different.
Sure, but I
Like-
think that the difference exists, though.
No, as in, like, it shouldn't be any different in the eyes of, like, being able to do the story hour.
Correct.
Because they are, on that level, they're all the same thing.
Yeah.
They're treated differently, which is the shitty part. Which is the part that is
Agreed.
not merited.
Yeah.
Or warranted, whatever.
Yeah, and I think that's important, though, is because I think that's part of that where we need. This is part of that conversation, though, that's not being had, which is unfortunate.
Yeah.
We should be able. We should be able to, and it should almost be like fucking required
Yeah.
to say, let's discuss this as if it were somebody else.
Right.
What if I went in? No, I'm not going to go in as fairy godmother.
No. I just thought of.
Guess what happened? Oh man.
It says it reconnected.
Yeah, it said it reconnected.
Let me.
I know we were.
Let me see.
I know we were buffered there for a moment. That was.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay,
It's
I know we definitely lost our stream there for a moment.
Sorry about that, y'all.
Yep. And then the computer was like, "Hey, guess what?"
I thought it was my computer for a second there, so I looked down and I'm just all like, I didn't have any alerts, and then I'm all like, oh wait,
Oh yeah, it was definitely mine.
oops.
But I believe yeah, we still have excellent connections, so we're good. But what were you thinking of before we move on to the next one?
Well, so as many of you know, I'm a huge fan of the Puzzle in a Thunderstorm podcasts, which includes Scathing Atheist, and they have a segment that they do once in a while called Make It Black, where you take a situation where somebody is speaking in a derogatory manner about gay people, trans people, women, people who've had abortions, stuff like that. You take those situations where they're speaking about something that is against their religion and take that out, take the descriptor out, and insert black person. And if
That
what
is
you're
nice.
saying is not okay because it's a black person rather than a gay person or a trans person,
That's fabulous.
that's how you know that what you're saying is super shitty.
I love that.
That's not my idea. Again, that's from Scathing Atheist. Credit to No Illusions, Eli Bosnick, and Heath Enright.
You should go follow them. They're
Y'all are
fabulous.
wonderful, and I love you. What'd I do?
See, I can't see any participants.
Oh no!
Sad day for.
Well, let me look at.
It's a sad day.
It might have been.
Can you see them?
Yeah. It's because there's been
Been a while.
not many people. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not many people talking. So. So you gonna do one more? We can probably. I think you can talk a lot about this one.
I probably can.
Or do you want to save this one?
I was gonna try to do something else, and then I.
Oh sure, yeah.
I
just thought
lost
thought
it.
that one
I
would
lost
be-
it anyways.
Oh no.
No,
Okay.
it's okay.
Which one?
Blue Collar Heathen is there. Very good.
Pew Research one?
Which one is that one?
The LGB. You want to do that one?
I didn't read this one.
Oops. It's okay. It's okay.
I don't know why I didn't see it. I thought, did you put it in there or did I?
I did, and it's been in there all day.
I did not read
That's
that
what
one.
she said. It's okay. I didn't read the Satanic Temple one either.
You didn't read the Satanic Temple one?
No, I didn't. I saw headlines about it on Facebook today as I was scrolling through, but
They are challenging the Supreme Court ruling.
I know.
That
The fetal
aborted
remains.
fetal remains have to be buried or cremated.
Yeah.
And they're saying that's in Indiana, I believe, is where they're challenging it.
I
at.
think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's the thing here in Texas too.
Yeah. But so they're like, no, we don't.
Yeah.
We are exempt because it is religious.
Yep.
Yep. And
And
so
that's
that's pretty cool. So good luck to them. Yes, that one.
Okay.
Because the Bible thing makes sense into the. Remember, I
Oh yeah.
I have that photo.
Because
Yes.
I was reading
I think
the.
I got that
yeah.
from Fox News. I think
Yeah.
that's in Fox News somewhere. Well, I'll bring it up here in a second while you're doing that. Let
While
me
I'm
see if I can't locate it. I should be able to.
So there's a civil
Save
rights
the photo.
group that is called the. Where did they go? Shit, I just had it. Sorry. It's like military freedom.
It's not.
Shit.
It's not that one.
No, it's this one because it was the guy who was the plaintiff. Yeah, the guy that was a plaintiff was a Christian. Let's see here. I'm so
Yeah,
sorry.
it's from the
Military
VA.
Religious Freedom Foundation.
Okay, so it is military religious. freedom.
Military Religious Freedom Foundation. So they filed a complaint against the Veterans Hospital because there is a historic World War II Bible in this public display.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been a part of this POW MIA display. Do you spell those out right? I've never actually heard somebody say those.
POWMI. Yep.
Okay. So it obviously, POW MIA displays honor people who were prisoners of war, never found. And there's also, so it's on a table. It's got a plate, a drinking glass, a candle, a flower, an American flag, a salt shaker, and an empty chair. And so that all of that accompanies this Bible with this display, and the Bible itself is in this plexiglass box.
Yeah.
It was donated by a gentleman, Hermann Herk Streitberger, and he was held in a German POW camp during World War II. So the federal suit that was filed says, we would all be outraged if the MVAMC only provided care to Christians or denied care to non-believers or those who worship their God in other ways. The placement of a Christian Bible on the sacred table is just as objectionable.
Yep.
And
This is the part that I enjoy the most, and I think you're coming up to it right
Yes.
now. Because if I had to guess, Susan, and I am the mind of an evangelical, okay? Is it the Freedom from Religion Foundation?
no, I already said who it was.
No, yeah, I know, but did he contact the FFRF?
I didn't see that they.
No.
that he did.
The correct.
Yeah.
No, it's
No.
all everything that you're doing is correct. The answer to all these is no.
Oh, okay.
Until we figure.
I was just making sure.
Yeah, correct. Sorry, we didn't set that up at all.
No.
I thought that we had, and then we didn't.
My bad.
So he's not FFRF.
Correct.
What about ACLU?
Nope.
American Atheists?
Nope.
I feel like that's on my shirt there. Satanic Temple?
Nope.
Church of Satan?
Nope.
Hates Christians?
Nope.
Well, who the fuck is he?
He's a Christian.
Where's the? I have
that's the one you were looking
got a
for.
sound effect somewhere. He's a Christian.
He's a Christian. He's a member of First Congregational Church, United Church of Christ in Barrington, New Hampshire. James Chamberlain, you are a badass. He's a veteran of the Air Force who receives treatment at this facility. And the suit says, despite his strong personal religious beliefs, he believes that the Christian Bible has no place being displayed on the POWMIA table at the entranceway to the MVAMC, where he gets his care.
Yeah.
As a Christian, he respects and loves all his military brothers and sisters and does not want to be exclusionary by the placement of the Christian Bible. I'm not crying, you're crying.
I love
that.
this. It's also not without merit. It is important to note that the VA there, VA MC or whatever the freak it is.
MVAMC, yeah.
The VA up there, what state's that in again? I forgot. I don't know, New Jersey or New Mexico or some state, one of the 50.
New Hampshire.
Ah, wow, I was way off. I was thinking it was. Oh no, I wasn't way off with New Jersey. It's not that. It's not a far drive from Jersey to New Hampshire, Vermont, or whatever, whichever one's upside down. The VA has been like, fuck you.
Basically, yeah, because they've Kurt Kasher, who's the press secretary for the Department of Veteran Affairs, says this lawsuit, backed by a group known for questionable practices and unsuccessful lawsuits, is nothing more than an attempt to force VA into censoring a show of respect for America's POW/MIA community. Make no mistake, VA will not be bullied on this issue. Oh my God, can you get any more friggin' Christian supremacist in this?
Well, let's talk about how they're being bullied. Let's do that.
Yeah. We want equal representation for everybody, for all of those.
But it's even more than that. At the very bottom of this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's actually the person who filed the suit is not without merit, because apparently the VA is going against their own code.
They are, because there was a 2016 VA memo that says when a VA facility permits a POW/MIA remembrance table, it must remain neutral regarding the views expressed by the group, to include the use of any religious or secular items in the display. So they have to not have it be religious and supporting one sole religion.
Yeah, you cannot have any of those displays there at all.
Right. And
No, you're totally fine.
So the and actually the suit that was filed, it mainly names Chamberlain as the plaintiff, but apparently there's like 14 total people who complained to the MRFF. 9 of the complainants identify as either Protestant or Roman Catholic. The remaining practice other faiths, such as Jewish, Muslim, Native American, Buddhist, and atheist/agnostic. I didn't realize Native American was an actual, religion.
Yes,
but,
they have a lot of Native American... Yeah, I think that's the way
that's just semantics.
The way it's written, I think it encompasses that. But apparently, by the way, it might be easier for me to get to New Mexico from here, because apparently from Blue Collar Heathen says from New Jersey to New Hampshire, or just Jersey, not the new one, the older one, you'll likely end up on 87, which is essentially a parking lot that goes through New York State.
Ew.
Thank you for that. I'll walk instead. And then the Talking Snake knows apparently a lot about BCH and Mass too. Although I know what Massachusetts is. I don't know what BCH is. Anyways, so that's actually really cool.
Apparently it's Bitcoin Cash.
I don't. The only thing I know about Bitcoin is that Milo Yiannopoulos is banned from purchasing or selling it.
That's good.
Yeah.
And Phil Ferguson, who I met at the American Atheist Convention, has a financial podcast where he lays out in a multi-episode thing how bullshit Bitcoin is.
Oh.
I like Phil.
Check out Phil Ferguson.
Phil's a good dude.
But no, they.
Yeah.
Did I say it wrong? Oh.
I thought mine was funnier.
I am.
Your reaction, though, I think was my favorite part. So Blue Collar Heathen, you're now Bitcoin Cash. Just so you know. It has been told.
Oh, man.
It has come
Oh my
down.
gosh. 8 people heard me just like live fuck that up.
That's cool.
Speaking of Bibles though.
Yes.
Speaking of Bibles.
Which Bibles?
Without logos there is only chaos. Cool, Z-Mite, thanks a bunch for letting me know that. I don't know that we actually have this show to really talk about whether or not a God exists, but I thank you very much.
Not really.
Thank you very much for your
input.
Yeah, your input is always accepted here. We are an open arena. I think is a.
I like to think so.
Yeah, we allow pretty much anything to come in there as long as it's not bigoted or something like that. So
Yeah.
thank you for your opinion and your belief, and also for the view. That makes very happy.
Yeah.
But speaking of Bibles, did you know that God likes Bibles?
I mean, I would like something that I told man to write too.
That is true. I would like the book that I invented.
Yeah.
Apparently, and I forget where this is. It's somewhere in the Midwest.
Is this a link, or is this just a random thing?
This is. I could have put the Facebook link in here, but I'm not gonna. This was just the other day. And by the way, if you're unaware, there have been destructive tornadoes this week. The most tornadoes are now at 9 days in a row of more than 10 tornadoes a day, which is the longest, the most, and it stretches all the way from Colorado and down here, obviously into Texas, all the way to the East Coast. Pennsylvania today had more tornadoes. New Jersey, and stuff like that. Dayton, Ohio, the other day was hit very hard, and places obviously in Oklahoma. At this point, Oklahoma, just rename your state. Seriously, I realized that Colorado is the Windy City, or not Colorado, but Chicago, Illinois is the Windy City, but you are the tornado state. It is, my goodness. They are just.
Yeah.
But the stuff going on in Dayton, obviously, larger cities are going to receive more attention,
Right.
And for good reason. There's a lot more damage that happened, but this is being one of these events that happens like this. If you can help out in any way, no matter where it is, whether it's in Dayton or whether it's in places in Oklahoma, here in Texas, Pennsylvania, or something like that, please do. It is important. Our fellow humans need help.
Yes.
Right.
That's a big part of being a humanist, is being able to recognize that you need to help your fellow people, your fellow human beings, whenever they're in need. And it's understandable if you can't give money. If you do give money, try and give to not Salvation Army and stuff, because they're awful.
There are places that we don't, we'd rather you didn't.
You can always give your
Samaritan's
time. Like, if you don't have the money, you can always give time. They can always use volunteers.
Yeah.
To help out with stuff.
Yeah.
And
by the way, this is just adding into the fact that we should help those who are trying to come to our country, and we should provide for them as well. We believe that. So it's not just something that we are focusing on, like that we're moving our attention away from also helping immigrants and those who are already destitute, but this is also something else where other people need our help as well.
Yeah, it is possible to care about numerous things at once, and we are examples of that. We care about numerous things. We will fight for numerous things and be allies for numerous movements.
Yeah, we do that a lot. In one of the cases, though, and we bring this up on purpose, so there's actually 2 different incidents that I want to speak about. One of them is a church. Mm-hmm. And there was a church, and I don't know where, I forget where it was, and I apologize. I could certainly probably find the link, but a tornado was tearing through the town where this church was, and there were children inside the church.
Oh, this one.
Joking about how scary it is to have children inside of a church by themselves with adults anyways.
Oh my God.
I don't know what's more destructive. Anyways, a tornado tore through the town and actually tore off the roof of this church.
Yeah.
And apparently the children inside of the church were instructed to sing, and they did. Jesus Loves Me.
Oh, I thought it was Jesus Loves the Little Children.
Well, Jesus Christ, are you serious? Wow. It's like, wow, what if they had died? And so they didn't. They were like 11.
Seeing Jesus loves the little children?
I guess he's bringing them back home.
All
of them survived.
of the world.
Yeah, all the children survived, which is a great thing.
That is good, yes.
Yeah,
yes.
very, very excited that they, and hopefully...
Let it be known that if anybody had died in this, we would not be making jokes right now.
Yes, also probably wouldn't be talking about it, and that's part of the issue.
Yeah.
Because the fact here is not that, and I think that the movie Twister kind of actually pushes this home. Helen Hunt, I think, was in that movie.
Yeah.
It's a great film, by the way. 1997, 98, and it still holds up. It's the best tornado film ever.
It's 1996, isn't it? We've had this discussion before.
It is better than Night of the Twisters. We definitely had that one. We actually watched that one on a different channel.
1996.
God, she's better than me at this stuff.
We have had that literal conversation before where I told you it was 1996 and you didn't believe me until
consecutively wrong. Wrong on consecutive accounts. Or consecutive counts.
The cow scene. Yeah, there's the...
Yeah. That is a common gif. And she said it very well, I think. And she says, have you ever seen a tornado miss your neighbor's houses, right? Dodge them, basically, and come for yours. That is... Yeah, and that, to me, is like the part... Okay, well, God chose to murder me, basically.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh,
let's ignore the fact that the kids survive. Let's ignore the fact that all of... That's a fun sound.
Yeah.
That all this other bullshit happened, an untold amount of damage and other deaths.
Right.
People actually died.
Yes.
I imagine they might have been Christians.
Probably. Statistically, yes.
In this area, they are likely Christians.
Yes.
I just switched on accident. Don't care. This is something
That's
else. But I'm happy the children survived. But the fact we wouldn't be having this conversation if they didn't, we wouldn't be attributing this to God if they didn't survive.
Right.
We don't need this. The young lady in Oklahoma a few years ago.
I remember her. Yeah. I don't remember her name.
I can find it, and I'd bring her on this show in a heartbeat if she would have us. She was in Oklahoma, and she was
Rebecca Vitzman.
Yeah, she was like holding her child and said, "Praise God." And the guy from the news channel said,
Blitzer.
Oh yeah.
It was Wolf Blitzer that was talking to her.
Said like, "Praise God" or whatever, and she's like, "I'm an atheist."
Yeah.
So God just tore down my fucking house.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I'm glad the children survived, but dude, tornadoes do an untold amount of damage.
Yeah.
This picture I put up on the screen is an example of this. This also happened. By the way, my favorite part of this picture is not the Bible. You can probably
is it the
imagine.
Squirt gun?
It's definitely the gun.
It's a squirt gun.
God likes guns too.
I mean, of course.
This happened here where their entire house is gone. Mm-hmm. It was taken completely from its foundations. This is from Fox News.
Of course.
By the way. And it's in... Let me see. I have the link here. I can actually read part of this because it's from Fox News, and I think I put it toward the bottom.
Which one was this one? We are sometimes a little.
Maybe not. I don't know where the fuck. Oh no, I didn't. That's right. I didn't link it. That's right. I just got the photo.
Yeah, you didn't. Yeah.
They lost everything.
Yeah.
Their entire house is gone. All of their belongings, minus this picture frame, because there's not a picture. This. I don't know what else is actually like on this, but there's a gun.
It looks like a
Second Amendment
Ziploc bag with
I don't know.
Toiletries?
I don't know. And like a cool little squirt gun survived. But they said, praise God because the Bible survived.
Which is such bullshit.
That is ignoring the fact that God, if you believe this, that God not only created the tornado, aimed it at your fucking house,
Yep.
tore your house down,
Yep.
and then also killed people.
Took all of this shit away from you.
Yes.
But you're okay because there was a Bible on the porch?
Rando Bible.
Is
right?
it even their Bible, I wonder? Or was it somebody's Bible, like their neighbor's?
I'm not going
Got
to
flung out of a bookcase.
It's possible. I'm not going to assume that they're intentionally misleading on this for sure.
Yeah.
But like everything.
Yeah, it's because you see so often that people who are religious, Christians specifically, they are so willing to attribute all of the good things to God. They're not willing to attribute any of the bad things to God, because they say that the bad things only happen, because man, because free will, because we sin, whatever.
Yeah.
But if God gives you things, he takes them away too.
Yeah.
It's not just,
You know what?
it's not just us.
Do you want to know what God did a few years ago back in this is up in Pilger, Nebraska. This is up where up in northeast Nebraska, where I was raised, and I know people that were affected by this.
Yeah.
God, and I've showed you this video of the twin tornadoes.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Right? Yeah. If you've never been to the Midwest, turns out very flat, very few trees, lots of tornadoes.
Yes.
Right, and this is in northeast Nebraska, and this was in the June of 2014, so almost 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And twin tornadoes,
Yeah.
which, by the way, very rare. Also, if you imagine one tornado, now you have two of them
Yep.
right next to each other.
Was this the one that you sent that we saw the like security video?
Yeah.
Like the security footage? That was terrifying.
Yeah, and also like the entire side of the house go around the fucking town.
Yup.
Pilger has about a little over 300 people. So I saw the other day the path of the long track tornado through Dayton, Ohio, and by the way, that was devastating.
Yeah.
Pilger, it went right through downtown Pilger.
Oh yeah.
And it destroyed everything. It did, from like people that I know lost everything.
Oh yeah.
Right? Do you know what God caused to happen from insurance companies?
They denied the claims.
They set it up so that the insurance stuff moving forward, Pilger, which is near rivers, is no longer considered in a floodplain.
What the? Excuse me?
And do you remember what happened earlier this year? Just in March?
Yup. All those floods.
Nebraska.
In like half of Nebraska.
Yep. And that was the northeast part of Nebraska, the
Yep.
Niobrara River, the Elkhorn River. These are people that I know
Yeah.
that lost everything one time, and now they're not protected from their insurance companies because God sent a tornado,
That's
knowing
so
that shit would
ridiculous.
happen. Our show has taken an odd turn altogether
It
today.
has.
No, just like today has been a different kind of a show because we are really venting more than we usually do.
Yeah.
But this is some real bullshit because God caused this to happen. And then God also caused the subsequent floods 5 years later.
Right.
Which went through the town again.
Right.
Right? And other towns in that area.
But because the insurance company wants to stay profitable, they don't want to actually help these people recover anything.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's such a small town and it's such a small number of people. The backlash that that they are probably have already received from it,
Yeah.
probably far outweighs what they would have had to pay out.
Yeah. And also Fort Smith, Arkansas currently is being flooded as well, so help out there. There's so much going on right now with the weather. We feel like every single year we say these things and it's like it's as if it's more than last year, Susan.
Climate change
It's
is
the
real.
weirdest thing. I feel like I just heard like a buzzing in my ear of something. Somebody, I don't know, but
Deja vu all over again.
yeah. So this is like they're excited that their Bible was saved. They lost literally everything, and depending on their insurance company, they might not get it back.
Right.
If they had it at all. That is, to me, so it's nuts.
Yeah.
Again, it's that person earlier who actually had a moment of like of clarity in her head on Twitter.
Right.
Where she was like, thank God I'm not getting hit. Also, though,
God, you kind of suck for potentially doing that to my family.
Yeah, like thank you God for not killing me.
Right.
Is what it's saying.
It's very selfish.
Yeah.
It's very selfish.
And there was one that up in this actually happened where that's right, they were in Florida.
Uh-huh.
By the way, they were in Florida when their house was destroyed by a tornado. Oof. They were like on vacation. So praise God. Praise God that
so you
God
just have to go back and deal with all the cleanup. Like, it's happening too, and you can't do anything because you can't get back.
Well, for them it was praise God that God sent me on a vacation so I didn't die from a tornado.
No, fuck you. You have to deal with all that now.
Yeah. Well, the point that I'm trying to make though is they're praising God that they in particular.
Oh yeah, so selfish. Yeah, selfish.
It is. Please.
We don't have anything lighthearted to end on.
Please never to end this part. Please never be so selfish while people around you are dying from something that you luckily avoided.
Right.
It is luck.
Oh yeah.
It is. The fact that tornadoes didn't come through our apartment today, and instead they were in Saginaw, and Azle, and Louisville, and Denton, is luck. Because all of that is to the west and north of us, all the way across. Nice little line.
Yeah.
Luck. Praise God that the person across the street got murdered.
Yeah. No.
Not me though.
If your comfort comes from others suffering, then you need to take a serious look at your evaluation of situations.
Yeah.
I really do.
Oh yeah. And there's some comments there. And Mark Caesar makes a very good point as well. The religion theme is a win-win. You survive, thank you, Jesus. You die, and Jesus called you home. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I wonder if we would be. This is the thing. Would we be praising God, and saying God wanted those kids home if all 11 had died, or what if just one had survived?
They would have thanked God.
Praise God for the one that survived.
Yeah. But not a fuck you God for all of the other
murdering
kids that died.
the 10 other.
Yeah.
Because it is.
Yeah.
If we accept that the God of the Bible, and this is Christianity, by the way, this is a direct knock on fucking Christianity.
Yeah.
Absolutely is. If we accept that the God of the Bible can and does control these things, then he is the head coach.
Yeah.
He is responsible in a win or a loss. It is his fault. It is his choice.
Right.
Period.
Yeah.
Now
I just got sad because I'm thinking of Tim Miles.
Oh yeah, and it is his fault though.
Yeah.
And Mark Caesar says offer to help rather than say thank you God.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely.
We have to be humanists about it. We really do.
I think that there is a point. By the way, and by the way, I'm not going to be a complete heartless dick. There is a point towards which we can say, wow, if I'm religious and I say thank you God that I'm alive,
yeah,
thank you for sparing my life.
Yeah.
Right, but it's not at the expense of somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's
exactly
true.
What I was gonna say.
And I think as a religious person, one could say that.
Yeah.
And that means so much more than saying, look, our Bible survived.
Yeah.
Look, these 11 kids didn't get sucked up by the tornado while they sang a song about Jesus.
Yeah.
No, the church is fucking destroyed. I'm happy the kids are alive. But you have to say, God destroyed our church but didn't kill the kids.
Right.
God destroyed other houses and murdered other people but didn't kill these 11.
Right.
That's what we have to say. And it's difficult when we're religious.
Oh, yeah, because there's that cognitive dissonance. They think that God is just this, benevolent provider who is, loving and blah, blah, blah. But we all know, if you read the Bible, you already understand that the God of the Bible is a dick. The God of the Bible does not have your best interests at heart. The God of the Bible is more inclined to send you to hell than actually give you a chance at any sort of redemption.
Yeah. That is true.
Yeah.
Somebody else said, praise God. I think Banana Jr. said, praise God because the steps are intact.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
They'll find something to thank God for at the expense of someone else and because of their suffering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw Mark's chat was kind of something that I said. I kind of alluded to it.
Yeah.
Whenever I mentioned,
just as dangerous.
Yeah, leave them alone with parents.
Yeah.
Leave them alone with adults. Oh no, that was actually something in that has happened. We talked about this. Is like we're gonna make this a segment. By the way, I love your background of your computer. It is the best.
It is the best.
I look like I have really red.
Really red beard.
Yes, I do. My beard is really red.
Can you put it back to OBS so I can show them?
No, they'll be able to see it if you put it up.
Oh, well, yeah, but I can't tell.
There it is.
Isn't he cute?
Isn't she gorgeous?
No.
That was Saturday.
Saturday, yeah.
That was when Nebraska won a game.
Yeah.
But we're going to make this a segment, and this is going to be a segment every single week or every single show because it comes up every single week. And this has to do, and this is going to be really fast because apparently, and this might fucking surprise you, there's another pastor who apparently has...
Oh, the Chicago guy.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just shut down. So.
That's okay. That is perfectly fine. So we'll go now. There is something really awesome to end on. We can certainly do that.
There we go.
There it is. Chicago Church. This is Newsweek. I put this in earlier today. A Chicago pastor was arrested for being a being a molestor. A Chicago pastor arrested for allegedly abusing twin girls that he tutored at his home. This is on the 27th. His name is Jeffrey Parks. He's 51 years old. He's a pastor at Good Shepherd Church.
That guy ain't so good.
Last I checked, shepherds don't,
Yeah.
Yep. Inappropriately touching the girls on multiple occasions since 2017.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
So he's been doing it for a hot minute. And doesn't it say in the article that the girls only were able to say something whenever they actually were spoken to about inappropriate touching?
Yeah. After a discussion, the girls told their mother after a discussion on inappropriate touching.
Yeah.
And this, by the way, is not. This is not a new. It's not a new or a rare thing.
No.
Chicago, especially, 400.
Yeah.
Very recently, incidents. Most of them from the Catholic diocese, obviously.
Of course.
Where there are these allegations of sexual abuse. With that being said, this was something we talked about the other day. Protestants say we expect more of these.
Oh yeah,
and so
they know it's coming because
I am so sorry for that.
I should
oh my
not
gosh,
have. I feel really bad now, because I imagine they've been seeing it their entire lives. At the very least, they've been seeing adults acting inappropriately with children, not entirely knowing maybe what's going on behind the scenes in some cases.
Mm-hmm.
But I think, to a certain extent, at some point or another, almost everybody who goes to church has that one person who something's just off about them. And they know. And I've said this before, I've said this on the show, I've told it to you. Apparently my godfather was that person.
Yeah.
Because my godfather was arrested for child porn. Which, that's cool. I forgot about that until like a month ago.
Yeah.
Like my mom told me when I moved back in with her, in my adulthood.
Yeah, I think, but it's becoming such a common thing. I think that we could easily make a segment of our shows about that.
Oh, yeah.
It'd be easy to do.
Yeah, and if nothing else, I think I have we've got the FFRF newsletter somewhere where they've got the black collar crimes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Something else real quick to go over. By the way, we look forward to a expedited trial and maximum punishment for that guy.
Yes.
Something else happened, by the way, and this has to do with Nigeria, and this is awful. This happened on the 27th. in Nigeria, herdsmen stormed a church choir practice and kidnapped 17 Christians. And on May 18th, the same night, gunmen killed a Christian and kidnapped 2 others at a Baptist church. And this is in Nigeria, and that's awful.
Yeah.
We are not fans of the Christian God, and we are not fans of the religion in general.
Right.
But we are humanists, and we believe that every person should be able to practice their religion wherever they are.
Except on
Yes,
government property.
in their like to
Yes.
go to service, to go to choir practice in their own homes.
Right.
If they have like the street preachers and stuff like that, they annoy the shit out of me.
But they can still do it.
Yeah, in safety, like they
Right.
should be safe to do this. Nobody should go and fear for their lives because they are going to church.
Right.
And so that's something we should speak out against as well.
Yeah.
In Nigeria, because Christians around the world are not in the United States, not at all, and not in the Western world really at all.
Right.
But Christians are persecuted.
Yeah.
And
It's typically in Africa, in
Yeah.
Middle East, and
yeah,
you know.
and they're real persecution where they
Yeah.
are kidnapped, they are murdered,
Mm-hmm.
in numbers that really, I say indescribable because it shouldn't happen at all.
Yeah.
But it is something that absolutely should. Nobody should, like I mentioned, nobody should fear that. Like this, like in Christchurch, right?
Yeah.
In the mosque, in the temples, in the churches. It doesn't matter.
Right.
Nobody should fear walking to a mosque to get run over by somebody.
Who thinks that they're doing the right thing?
They're doing the will of God.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna grab that so it
Yeah.
doesn't fall.
Very good. Thank you so much.
I'm sorry.
But to
Realize all that they can see for a brief moment is just the top of my head.
yeah. It's not
the
what she was
guy-
doing. Yep, that's what I'm ending on.
donation.
Yep. This
This is heartwarming.
just great. If you remember, I brought up Christchurch in New Zealand. Awful, by the way, and certainly, that's something that we think about and we talk about. Not as often, I think, as we should. But the after Christchurch, there was a individual, Senator Fraser Anning, blamed. This is a guy in Australia, right? He blamed Muslim immigration for the racist attacks that killed 51 worshippers at 2 mosques in March.
Yep.
And while he was talking,
Spewing this nonsense.
yes, a 17-year-old by the name of Will Connolly came up and live streamed it and egged him
He egged him.
on national television.
That still makes me very happy.
There are few.
I mean, it doesn't make me happy that Connolly ended up like granted, what's the politician's name? Anning?
Yeah.
Anning was acting in self-defense, but Anning like turns around and punches the kid a couple of times before people manage to separate them. It just seems like such a gross overreaction to getting egged.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. And especially, I mean, I understand like one punch, I get that, but after that, that's not just self-defense. I'm sorry, it's just not.
Yeah. So what happened in the meantime is for like his legal defense and all that, because obviously you can be charged with that. Supporters called him Egg Boy, which is great.
Yeah.
Donated 69,000, so about 70 grand, United States dollars, to help him pay for the legal fees.
Yeah.
But then a law firm actually said we are going to represent you pro bono.
Which is awesome.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
And he finally got, so it's $99,000 in Australian dollars.
Right.
And so it's 70,000. And what he did, Connolly should be just lauded for this. He was actually embarrassed that what he did took away attention from what people should have been focusing on, which was what happened.
Right.
In
like making sure that we're taking care of the people that this sort of thing happens to.
Yeah. And especially it took away from Christchurch.
Yeah.
And so what he is doing is he is donating every penny.
I love that.
To the victims and their families.
There's like a certain fund, right, or a foundation.
It is. It did you do it? Well, where did it go? I forget. This actually, by the way, comes from Fox News again. So.
Yeah, I'm wanting to say there's a certain like
Christchurch Foundation and Victim Support.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah. They are. Those by the way, there's two different foundations. There's Christchurch Foundation and Victim Support. Those are two different foundations.
Yeah.
So if you are looking, by the way, to do some things like Connolly did, and you want to help out and give money to those organizations, absolutely, I think I recommend that.
Yeah, it's a good idea. I really commend this guy for doing that, and his attitude about it too.
Yeah,
him saying that, I didn't want it to take away from the victims and from their support, and that's a good attitude to have, because I think we all and I think we all need to use whatever abilities and privilege we may have to do good, not just for ourselves,
I agree,
but for others. We need to make sure that we're taking care of people because it's the right thing to do.
100%.
Not because we just expect something out of it. There you
go. So good on this kid. We obviously don't support Anning at all. The guy from Australia, the bigoted piece of garbage. We don't support those kind of people regardless.
Don't egg people, but it's better to egg people than get really violent.
Yeah.
It's like the lesser of the evils.
Well, better they took the money and donated it, I think.
Oh yeah. I mean, given the circumstances, it was the best possible outcome.
There were some other things. We're not gonna get to those today.
Yeah.
Ending on a positive note. I like the positive note.
Yeah, I do too.
What'd you say?
I want to take a shower.
She said she's got to clean herself because she is. Wait, shouldn't you be defiled before you have to go clean yourself?
Maybe.
Yes. So upcoming, we are not going to have a normal show. We're not going to have a guest at all on Sunday. We're not going to have a normal show. We are going to be live from Los Jimadores Mexican Cantina restaurant.
I think it's restaurant.
I don't know. It's in Bedford, Texas. So if you are in DFW or anywhere around DFW and you want to come out, we are going to be live there. We are going to be the guest for the DFW Freedom from Religion Foundation, and going to be presenting something that we created for the need for required comprehensive sex education.
Yep.
And we're going to be presenting that. That will be pretty much the entirety of our show.
Yes.
There will be one or two special announcements while we're on there, but that will be the entirety of our show. We will have the live chat up, but we're not going to be able to see you folks.
Yeah, we're not going to be able to actually respond to anything.
Yeah.
So we are counting on, if you're in here fairly regularly and you are able to, if you've already got the little wrench next to your name, if you could do us a solid and take care of people, which, yep, we call it heathen. You now have a wrench next to your name, so yay. And
I don't know if
Oopsie
Upsie,
too.
I don't know if Upsie has made it, or Upsie or Oopsie, I don't know.
I don't know.
I always say Upsie, but it could be Oopsie.
There's two U's.
Yeah,
so.
I think it's...
Basically, if you're in here right now, you've got...
Yeah, almost.
Yeah, pretty much.
But, so yeah, if anybody, you have the opportunity there. Yeah, you're welcome. You have the opportunity there to take care of anybody that comes in and says anything. We don't police our chat.
Right.
There are very few exceptions, but we don't police our chat. But you'll have the opportunity if somebody comes in and says things that are bigoted
Yeah.
or says things that are, just completely out of line.
Right.
Then I absolutely have the opportunity to do that because we're not going to be able to see it. We're not going to be able to do that, obviously. That is what we're doing on Sunday, so we're not going to have a special guest.
Right.
But there will be, I think, 2 special announcements besides that, and that'll be on Sunday night. That is 5:30 Central Time. Mm-hmm. You all right?
Yeah.
So you grimace there. Or is
No,
that a
it was a
smile?
smile.
It's a smile. Oh, yeah.
It was a smile.
She knows.
I do. But also on Saturday, so also if you are in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, on Saturday at 2 o'clock, there is the Texas Democratic Secular Caucus quarterly meeting that is taking place in Fort Worth. I believe the address is 421 South Adams Street. There is a Facebook event for it. I have shared it on Twitter and on Facebook, so you can go and find my tweet about it. It's been retweeted like 11 times, so I am super famous, y'all. It's basically it's a lot of candidate meet and greet sort of stuff.
Yeah, there's gonna be Kim Olsen gonna be there.
Kim Olsen's gonna be
Very
there.
excited for that.
Kristen Padgett's gonna be there. We have, I believe his name is Matt Pruneda. We've got Sima Hernandez. We've got some really, really great people. I'm really excited to see the turnout.
Yep,
So I'm very excited for that. That's going to be from 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock. Again, you can check out the Facebook event for it. You can also just go like Texas Secular Caucus on Facebook.
And then I'll be there, and you'll be there.
Yeah.
We'll definitely be there.
Yeah.
That will actually be, if you go to that event, that'll be the first time that the first time anybody hears one of the pieces of news that we're going to be giving on Sunday evening.
Yep.
So there you go. And that won't be broadcast anywhere. So you'll
so
have,
you got to come in person and
you'll
hear
have
it.
some input there. That'll be great.
Yeah.
Let's see. So no special guest this weekend.
Right.
But next Sunday, bringing on
Bitcoin Cash.
Yeah.
Bitcoin Cash.
Bitcoin Cash. Great fan of the show. Somebody I have gotten to know fairly well, both in the DMs and otherwise. And it is the Blue Collar Heathen.
You slide into their DMs.
He slid into my DMs.
Dang.
Yeah. I'm honored to have Blue Collar Heathen in my DMs. Also, he's going to be on our show, and that's going to be in 2 weeks.
Yes.
What is it, like the 8th or the 9th or something?
I believe it'll be the 9th.
That sounds like good math. We were trying to figure that out last night, too.
Yeah.
But he's going to be on with us. And we have some other folks lined up as well into the future that once we get those confirmed, it'll be really great. And they'll be on the Twitter.
We should get Snake on.
I don't know that Snake wants to come on.
Aw.
And that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine. But it would make my day.
But
no
how
pressure.
can people should be able to follow? I put all the links here, but go ahead for the following.
If you want to follow me on Twitter, you can follow me at Motel Cowboy. If you want to follow the Corgis on Twitter, which have been surprisingly quiet tonight, you can follow Benny and Stanley. They are at DoseCorgis15. You can friend me on Facebook. I'm on Facebook. You can directly get my name off of Twitter.
Yeah, you can follow me. You can follow me on Twitter if you want to. If you want to follow, like I talked about religion and politics, that is on Atheist Husker. And then if you want to follow and talk about sports and things like that, I'm sometimes active over there. I'm more active on Atheist Husker.
Yeah.
But if you want to talk about sports, and if I accidentally forget because I'm on my phone and I don't realize what account I'm on, sometimes politics, that happens. Nathaniel Husker is that one. And
you can follow the show, Divine
there
Disbelief.
it is. I was wondering. I was like,
follow Divine Disbelief. You can follow us on Twitter.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to make a Facebook page soon.
Yeah.
And also so we were all excited about getting over 100 subscribers because to get our custom URL. But apparently you have to have your channel up made for 30 days.
We're almost
after
there.
That 30 days, then you can get your custom URL. So we still have like a week and a half or 2 weeks.
I think excuse me. I think we're almost there. I don't know.
Week and a half, maybe.
It's so it's going to be very soon.
Yeah.
We are very, very excited about that.
It's like, I'm excited too.
I'm going to see if I can do this. I'm going to try
What are you
something
gonna
that I hadn't done before. So I'm going to do it this way. And we're going to see if this works. We'll see if it works. We don't know if it will or
Well, we
not.
also might want to make sure that they can still hear us too.
Oh, they can absolutely hear us.
Can they?
Yeah, they can hear us. It's the other side that they.
Oh no, that's a good point.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've
You
learned
remembered
this.
scroll wheel. I'm very proud of you right now.
Look at me learning things.
Super proud.
And we don't have a tagline yet.
No, we don't.
So if anybody wants to do a few different things for us, we did get our updated fan art from Gaelic Knox. I mentioned that earlier. That'll be on. We'll show that on Sunday. Also, we'll pop that up onto Twitter.
Yeah, I want to make like a layout, like kind of like Cirrus has.
Yeah.
So where we can just have like, this is where our video.
And we're gonna have we'll have our brand new camera.
Yes.
And that's exciting, and so we'll have all of that stuff as well.
Yeah.
Very, very, very soon. So we'll have everything. We'll have multiple cameras and stuff all over the place, and that'll also look good, and also will enable us to. I'm a fan of this, but it's also like squished together on the camera.
Yeah.
And so being able to kind of move things around and stuff like that will be great.
Yeah. We need some more of these little.
We do.
Tables.
We do.
I can get them. I got that at Walmart.
It's gonna be a lot easier for a lot easier with the new camera though.
Yeah.
But if you have any fan art you want to send us, you can the DMs are open. Absolutely. If you want to help to create the channel art.
Yes.
That would be great. So you can certainly do that. Yeah. And I'm gonna see if I can't do this. And we also need a tagline.
Yeah, we'll figure that out.
Yeah.
I'll write us an intro too.
Yeah.
It only took me like 3 years to figure out my proper Geeks Who Drink one. So.
Yeah. See, I think that right now we should be able to fade out all nice and.
Yeah, we can still. You can still hear us a little bit, but.
Yeah. Well, until Sunday at 5:30 Central.
Yep.
Ish. We're gonna do what we can to.
We'll be there when we're there.
Yeah.
Like we always are.
Bye, everybody.